guys, this is AC Lockyer, and this is Building a Lifestyle Business presented by SoftWash Systems. And this is where we're profiling different companies that we have in the SoftWash Systems network of licensed affiliates. And this week, we're talking to Jonathan Liddle with Premier Exterior Cleaning. And so, Jonathan, tell us where you're at, especially for all of us, Yanks over here in the United States. We don't know the map there in Great Britain quite well. So tell us where you're at and just give us a little background on the company itself.
Right. So we're based in the north of England, in York. So it's a real old medieval town. The Vikings were here many years ago. So, yeah, it's got a lot of history. So we're based here. We've been in the cleaning industry for 38 years. So
did you say 38?
38 years. So I did start when I was 1. No, so yes, I am that old, unfortunately. So 38 years we've been in the cleaning industry.
Wow.
But previous to that, my dad was in the cleaning industry. He was a window cleaner in the 1960s, up and down ladders with a little cloth. Right. He progressed to have an office cleaning company that went national. And to cut a long story short, him and his business partner bought the northern part of England, then eventually retired. So I'm a second generation cleaner.
Well, that explains the 38 years. So basically you grew up in the cleaning business.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Dad was in the cleaning industry, and I remember when I was about 4, he used to do a little village hall, and I used to do the bottom windows. And when I disappeared around the corner, he used to go and finish them off to undo the mess that I'd made. So yeah.
Well, that's cool. Yeah. So when you think about that, there's usually some typical questions I ask, like, why did you want to get into the cleaning business? And why did you pick the cleaning business? Well, you were born into it, which is really pretty cool. And so this is what you've been doing all of your life. And so when you think about it, it's a unique question for you, because I normally ask people right here, why did you want to become an entrepreneur? And so I'm going to rephrase it a little bit. Your dad was already an entrepreneur. He was in the cleaning business. You grew up in it. Why did you not resist becoming an entrepreneur? Why did you not go a different path?
Well, when I was leaving school, obviously I wanted to do some voluntary missionary work, but I needed some money to support myself. So Dad suggested, why don't you start cleaning windows? Mm-hmm. So that's what happened. So knocked on next door's neighbours, said, can I clean your windows? So that started that. And that progressed to the whole street. I always remember my first wage was £21.
Wow.
So £7 went to mum and dad for board and lodging. £7 I bought an album, and I had £7 whole left to go and put in the bank.
Okay. You said you went and bought an album, so I got to know now, because I'm a music guy. I got to know, was it Status Quo? Was it one of the famous British bands? Now, what band was it? What album did you buy?
I'm embarrassed. It was a one-hit wonder. I don't think you guys will have heard it in the States. Climby Fisher?
No.
Love Changes Everything. They had one hit, and they had 2 albums. So I wasn't that cool. Sorry.
Well, true confessions be had here. I'm an old musician from the day. I don't play nearly as much as I used to at all. But I was a bit of a metalhead. My favorite band is an English band called Whitesnake, and David Coverdale, the singer for that, came out of Deep Purple. So I love British rock and roll and blues-based British rock and roll. But it's kind of embarrassing. The first record I ever bought with my own money was Culture Club. Boy, so, and then I was like, which this is you're gonna laugh even more about it. I was like, boy, that girl singer in that band sure is kind of pretty. I didn't realize he was a guy. And one of my friends pointed it out to me, and I was like, oh my goodness gracious. And but it was funny. And then I got into Iron Maiden and Judas Priest and all the good stuff. So
Slightly different.
Slightly different. Yes, yes. I repented and moved on from Culture Club. But I look back on their music now, and they're very, very talented. And holy smokes, the whole kind of reggae sound they had was very, very cool. And they did well here in the States. So you 21 bucks, $7 to your parents, or pounds, or what you guys call quid over there. We say bucks in the State, you guys say quid over there. So £7 to your parents for room and board, £7 for an album. And what was the third thing?
£7 in the bank. But the next
so you put £7 in the bank for yep.
The next
and
week,
so
I've still got the records. The next week obviously wasn't very good because I earned £1.85.
Oh, you were £1 down.
So over as it progressed, obviously I was walking around. I progressed to a bike, so I put the ladders on the bike because the customers were getting a bit further. Then that went to a little van. We got a little van, and that was back in the days when it was hard work up and down ladders.
Yeah, a lot has changed in the window cleaning industry, that's for sure. Have you guys adopted all of the water-fed poles and the pure water and moved on to that now, other than just using the mop and squeegee?
Yeah. Well, 97, we invested in the reach and wash, Ionix reach and wash system, and we were probably one of the first in our area to have that, and it was having to educate clients that why are you leaving my windows wet. So it was a learning curve, and at the time I could only afford the system and one pole, which was a 30-foot pole, and they were like tree trunks back in the day.
Yes, they were. and very heavy. They didn't have all the carbon fiber and all the space age polymers and everything like they do now.
So the first day I felt like Popeye. My arms were burning.
Oh my goodness!
What have I done? But here we are.
Yeah, for sure.
Still cleaning the windows.
So for you, this isn't something you discovered real recently. This has been you watched your dad have his business, and you watched the victories he had and the defeats he had, the decisions that he made, positive or negative, and then you went into the business and started doing this and growing your business. And so, is there at any time that you left this business, or has it been a constant 38 years that you've been in this business?
No, we've diversified as well, because initially up and down ladders out and having to battle with the weather before the reach and wash, we started doing some office cleaning, and that started off with one office we used to do once a week for an hour, and that grew until we had about 35 staff. But then my wife was having a second child, and it was all getting a little bit too much with staff. Unfortunately, staff in the cleaners don't really have much loyalty, perhaps don't turn in, you're getting phone calls. And as the business grew, we weren't talked about systems or business, how to run a business. We were basically winging it. Trying to do a good job. We didn't have a clue on processes. So we sold that and went back just concentrating on sort of window cleaning and exterior cleaning.
So you mentioned the 10 house rules to owning a small business. And so that's part of the newsletter that we just released. And obviously you've had a chance to see that. And so one of the very, very first house rule is to build a lifestyle business. And so when you look at the thought of building a lifestyle business and your business being the vehicle to help you achieve your life's goals and dreams, what does building a lifestyle business mean to you? Elaborate on that point a little bit.
Well, because initially, when it was the business, it was just me. So if I went on a holiday, that's it. No wages were coming in. If anything happened to me, that will be it. So building that, the thoughts are that I'm not as important to the business as perhaps I used to be, so I can step back. So now we've got guys working for us. So if I go on holiday, business keeps going. Yeah.
So stepping back, being able to step away from the business from time to time. what other things can your business help drive your lifestyle for? Let's dig in a little deeper here.
Yeah, well, I can employ. We've got seven people now working for us. Some part time, some full time.
Mm-hmm.
The whole family's involved in the business, so potentially they could take over, keep me in a nice care home, look after me when I'm old.
Put you out to pasture, as we say it here in the States.
That's right. And hopefully, sometimes, because initially, as I say, business can overtake your life and you're too integral to the business. Whereas, and it is hard sometimes to let go a little bit because it's your baby. And it is hard to let go. And I still have that problem because you like to be involved. And I do quite enjoy it. I do still have, I'm out there with the guys. I enjoy doing that. I can't see myself ever just not doing anything because I'll just eat and get fat, basically. So I'm quite happy doing a bit of graft here and there with the boys.
Yeah, so you mentioned a couple things in there, and I'm just going to dig in on those points and have you elaborate a little bit. So you mentioned you've got 7 team members now. Some of them are family.
Seven. Sorry, 7.
7.
Yeah, 7. Yeah.
Yeah, 7. Yes.
I thought you said 17.
No. It was. I'm sorry. It was my American accent. But but you have 7 team members, and that's why I said 7 teams. So I get it. Yeah, 7 team members, and you mentioned that many of them are family members. So how many of your team members are family members right now?
Right. So I've got my son who works for us part-time. He's got his own little business. My son-in-law who works part-time for us. I've got my daughter and my wife who look after the sort of office side, the invoicing, wages, and their flexi time. I've got one lead tech and another guy, another tech, and there's me as well.
I think that's really, really cool because, when you talk about building a lifestyle business, you're not only building your lifestyle, but you're helping to support the lifestyle of your family members. And you teasingly said, hopefully they can take over the business one day and put you in a home, and so that's called legacy. And so you're also building the business for legacy. So you have something to pass on. There's some people that will build a business to flip it and sell it. And there's some people that will build a business to keep it for legacy's sake and have the family work in it. So tell me a little bit more about that. What would be like your vision of that working out and that playing out for you?
Well, ultimately, if it's a decent business, I'll have either the choice of if the family, my son and daughter want to take it over, there's that option. If not, we can sell it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because after all, if you do decide to exit and the family's been working in it, you can decide to take a little portion of that money and bless them with it after the sale too, or help them start another business or something like that.
Yeah, so I've got 2 options there. So depending what everybody wants.
And that's sometimes the key. It is depending on what everybody wants, because if you go into my 10 house rules for a small business, when we're talking about building a lifestyle business, you do have to meet with your spouse or your partner or your family members or your team members and see how much they want to sacrifice, see how much they want to work, see how hard they want to work, how much stress they're willing to handle. And so building that lifestyle business has a lot to do with your tolerance for some of the things that come with those businesses. And so that's really important as well. So, you've been in the cleaning industry for 38 years. Your dad was in the cleaning industry. You've got your whole family wrapped up in this thing. You've been doing window cleaning and you've been doing office cleaning, and suddenly this soft washing thing comes up. And so what got you interested in soft washing and kind of specifically soft washing with SoftWash systems?
Right. Well, my wife likes our property looking nice. So we've got paving slabs outside.
Yes.
So I used to go and pressure wash the paving slabs. And I was looking at it thinking, yeah, look, that looks all right. But then 3 or 4 months later, I had to do it again.
It's
So
all
I thought,
dirty again. Yeah.
let me get a bigger, more powerful machine. So yeah, got a bigger, more powerful machine. Looked great, but then I was blasting all the motor joints out of it and
Yeah.
thinking, I can't be bothered having to rejoin all the paving slabs every 6 months. There must be a better way.
There must be a better way.
So,
Yes.
2000 and if I get these dates right, 2014, I went on a building course and I met our friend Darren Smith, and we kept in touch over the years. Then I noticed Darren was getting into SoftWash, so I thought, what's all this? So he introduced us to SoftWash systems. So we bought the Blend 2 module, and I thought, I better check these guys out, make sure they know what they're talking about. So we were on holiday 2017.
Yes.
We were going to Disney, so I thought, right, we'll go and pay a visit. So we came and saw you guys. And
yeah, I should have dug up that picture because we took a picture in front of the office. You came by and visited with us, and that was really, really cool. And so you're coming over to sniff us out and make sure that everything was on the up and up, and we weren't a bunch of con men or anything. And so you came by the office in the United States, which not every one of our UK companies have been able to do. And so, how did you like it? How did things look when you came over?
Well, as soon as I walked through the door, I thought, these guys know what they're talking about. Then we got chatting to you, your history, and what really sold it is when they said, "Oh yeah, we used to do Disney." So I thought, well,
yeah,
if you're good enough for Disney, that's good enough for me.
Yeah, and working for Disney is a privilege. Some people have issues or struggles working for Disney. We've had very, very good luck, and been blessed by them. They pay us well, and we took about a decade hiatus because I got out of the cleaning industry for a while. But we just recently opened up just one branch, and the next time you come over, you'll be able to see it. So we have a model branch that you can walk into and see all the systems up on the walls and see how AC would do it following the model. And so that one branch, we've been kind of organically growing it and getting it going. And we've been invited to come back into Disney now. And we're getting ready to do some projects for them that we're working on pricing them right now. And everything looks very, very good. But we didn't actually reach out to them at all. They found us, which is pretty cool. And, so it just goes to show, if you build something and you build it right, it's like a moth attracted to light. Customers will find you.
Yeah, that's good. So yeah, and when you saw the systems and the training, that well, that's great.
So when you look at you've come on board with SoftWash Systems, you just mentioned the systems and the training. So at SoftWash Systems, we have the 4 pillars, that support our roof, so to speak, that support our business. And the first one's equipment. The next one is chemicals. The third one is education. And the fourth one is support. If you wouldn't mind, kind of elaborate on those 4: equipment, chemicals, education, support. And what has been your experience as you've been now? We're looking at, if that was 2017, it's 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, about 5-6 years now. 6 years plus now that you've been doing this with us. Tell us a little bit what your experience has been in those 4 pillars here at SoftWash Systems.
Well, the training I had all the online training videos. So as soon as we got that, I was early morning looking at all the training, which is great. All the videos that you had going up from the not authorized, certified applicator, authorized. So all that training was, that was great with all the videos with you and the cat in the background.
I call that my Matrix moment. They said, "Do you want us to edit that out?" I said, "No, leave it in there because I'll know if people have really watched the certified applicator if they tell me about the cat." So
yeah, the support has been great because with the Facebook groups, there's you stick something on, you're usually getting a reply pretty fast.
Hmm.
That's good. And having a network like the guys in the UK, we've got a network of guys here, so you can put any queries or questions on. If you've got any technical issue you're not too sure about, the guys are really good because they basically want to help one another out, which is a bit unusual in business because usually businesses want to try and put other businesses out of business.
Right.
But yeah, so that was really good, the support, and we've have had a bit like our UK tribe time, which is
Hmm.
quite good. Usually I used to get a kicking because I'm slightly lazy. We've been in the window cleaning industry here. It's a slightly different culture because most people get their windows cleaned on a monthly basis, where I
Right.
think in America could be every 6 months. So,
Oh, you're lucky if they clean them every 3 years in America.
oh, right.
Oh,
Okay.
it's unbelievable. Trying to talk people into cleaning their windows once a year is a struggle. But twice, if you can get them twice a year, you're doing really good.
So from my lazy point of view, I'm quite like next month I know how much revenue we're going to make in the window cleaning, and it
Yeah,
should.
that's a recurring revenue
Yeah.
business model. Yeah, no, nothing
Uh,
wrong with that. You're not lazy.
no, no, well, yeah, I know. So when we were looking at the sales, I was usually the dunce of the class.
Hmm.
I knew what was coming. So Mark and Darren, we all needed sometimes a kick up the backside, and that's
Yeah, for sure.
good for
And
us.
so SoftWash Systems kind of gets that business in a box put together so that when you're ready to go into soft washing, did you really have to reinvent the wheel or come up with anything yourself? Did you have, how was onboarding a completely new service into your company with SoftWash Systems?
Well, it was because we've already got quite a good customer base. It was like an add-on service. So as you were going to go, by the way, we
Yep.
now can do this, and the benefits are it's going to last a lot longer than just pressure washing and things like that. So a lot of the stuff that's coming in now, we're not having to do too much hard work to get
Hmm.
the revenues in because people already know us, and we've got all the videos. Now before we send the quote, we'll send a video saying, by the way, this is how this works. Look how good it is after we finished.
That's great. So when you look over the years and you've added soft washing, little by little, it probably has gotten better and produced more revenues from year to year. Uh, how how did the addition of soft washing impact your business uh, revenue wise as a percentage? Did it grow at 10%, 20%, 30%? What would you say?
A lot. Might have even doubled it, like I said, from
Yes.
when we were there. Although it's not as regular, but the money you do make is a lot more than you would doing the window cleaning.
Sure.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
because window cleaning, they kind of think it's, well, you're doing it every month.
yeah,
They figure you're making up on frequency and they really push down the prices. But as you mentioned, the soft washing is a higher ticket.
yeah. I mean, I couldn't. If you talked to me 38 years ago to where we are now, I would have said, "Yeah, you're having a pipe dream." So yeah,
Yeah, well,
it has transformed our business, and I quite enjoy it because when you're doing driveways or things, it's slightly easier than window cleaning.
it is easier. And I tell people that necessity is not the mother of invention. That's the saying. Necessity is the mother of invention. I say laziness is the mother of invention because I started out by buying a pressure washer. And when I bought that pressure washer, my dad blessed me with $1,000 pickup truck when I started my business and a $500 pressure washer from a wholesale club here in the States called Sam's. And so that's what I started with. And pressure washing, especially like pressure washing a driveway or like your case, you're talking about paving stones, it takes forever. And with soft washing, it was so much lower impact, went so much quicker. You didn't have the noise of the engine, and it does. It just goes so much quicker and then lasts so much longer. What's surprising is that I know that the UK has a much stronger window cleaning culture than the United States does. That's obvious. I've been to many countries around the world, and it's interesting how each country is. But the United Kingdom, I think more than anywhere, has this really strong monthly window cleaning culture. In the United States, what we've seen is if somebody has a window cleaning heritage and they start soft washing, usually within 2 to 3 years, they completely close their window cleaning division and just completely convert over the soft washing. But you have not done that. You've stayed a window cleaner. You saw that window cleaning heritage. You still have window cleaning customers, and this thing has come in and dovetailed nicely. And so, have you seen your window cleaning company grow alongside your soft washing company, and it's just kind of reinforced that you can clean the entire outside of a home, getting better customers?
Yeah, absolutely. We're a one-stop cleaning shop now, so we can do. You said to customers, well, we can do everything. Which one would you like?
Yeah, no, for sure. All right, cool. So, so your business is growing. You said the soft washing, virtually doubled your business. You've been in this 38 years. You're probably wanting to, at least slow down and smell the roses and do a little traveling and stuff like that. You already said it's going to be difficult for you to just stop working. You're always going to want to piddle and do something out there because you enjoy doing it. What does the next 5 years look like? What does the next 8 years look like? Where are you going with this business? And how is your business, your soft washing business, going to help you get to these goals that you have?
Well, my wife would like me to retire early, but I think it's harder work staying at home.
Yes.
Plus, I will be putting on lots of weight if I stop working completely. I'm going through my fat Elvis period at the minute. So probably 5 years I need to be, because I am 55 now, unfortunately. So
55 is not old. I'm 54, so.
Oh, well, there you go.
There you go. You're still a young guy.
Oh, thank you very much. So, yeah, I know, obviously, physically, I'm going to be slowing down. So I need to put things in place for the business to continue and me to take more of a back seat. So that's what we're looking at.
So once you take a little bit more of a back seat, do you got any travel plans on the horizons, anywhere that you have, desire to go and spend time? I know before we got on the call here and we started recording this podcast, you mentioned that you just went on a skiing trip with your son over to the French Alps area, just outside Geneva, Switzerland. And that was a trip that you were planning before COVID, and COVID kind of messed that up. What other trips do you have? Because we're talking about a lifestyle business. This business is going to help you do some cool stuff when you do finally decide to take a back seat and retire a little bit. What are some of those things on the horizon, or what are those dreams that you have?
Ooh, I don't think I'll be retiring, because have you seen my wife's bucket list?
So tell me about your wife's bucket list.
Yeah, well, how long have you got? So in a little while, we're going to Mexico for a couple of weeks. So taking the family there. My wife would like to go to Prague, Budapest, some of the old
Eastern Europe, yeah.
Australia has been. We've got friends out there, but that's going to be a 3-week trip. So yeah, there's plenty of travel plans we'd like to have, but obviously having a business can help support your travel plans.
No, it absolutely can. And so you're probably just a screaming entrepreneur like me, but do you actually have any hobbies, anything that you enjoy doing outside of your business?
Yeah, play the guitar. I used to play
we're very, very similar. Yeah.
Yeah. Play the guitar. Unfortunately, I trapped this finger in the hose reel, and I've lost a little bit of feeling, which is real annoying for the plectrum. So
yes.
A bit of nerve damage there. And I'm slightly deaf in one ear, because I used to practice in a little shed with some guys, and I used to stand next to the speakers.
Right next to the amps, yes.
And because it was so tight, so I'm slightly a little bit deaf in one ear. But yeah, I was I was into my, rock as well.
Well, it's funny as we get older, we can still get in a band and stuff like that, but it's, not always in the cards for us to have a band and go out and gig and stuff like that. It's fun to do it every now and then. But it's nice to collect guitars. So, I'm a Gibson guy. I like Gibsons. What kind of guitars do you like?
I've got two Fender Strats.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a 12-string, a classical, and I've got another one that a friend of mine made for us. So they're all dotted around the house.
So the little one that your friend made for you, is it kind of like when Brian May from Queen made his own guitar? Or?
Similar. It's still a Strat, because my guitar hero was Hank Marvin from the Shadows.
Yeah.
Years ago, Mum and Dad took me to a concert when I was 9, and I sat there thinking, wow, I want to play the guitar.
Yeah.
So it all started from there.
Very, very cool. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm a Flying V person. I like Gibson Flying Vs, and of course, I like Gibson acoustics, and I've got a couple different of those. And yeah, it's nice to kind of they're more artwork anymore. I did this week. Of course, you know who Ozzy Osbourne is, from Black Sabbath. Black Sabbath is, of course, another English band, and so they're well known. They're in England. And so Ozzy, when he broke free from Sabbath, or got kicked out or fired or whatever happened, he started his own gig and hired a guy named Randy Rhoads to be his guitarist. And so I hadn't touched a guitar for 2 years, but I packed up Tuesday of this week my acoustic guitar in its case, threw it in the back of my antique pickup truck, Bluebell. And after work, I drove out to Leesburg, Florida, about an hour away from our office, to go visit the crash site where Randy Rhoads was killed, and back in 1982. And so, you break out the guitar and you play a few songs, and you realize you don't have any calluses on your fingers anymore. And it's just kind of cool. But yeah, I've got a room upstairs that is just guitars all the way around the room. And so it's artwork. They don't get a lot of playing anymore. Well, that's cool. So just, it's been really great talking to you. What I've realized over the years is, we now have SoftWash Systems license affiliates in the United States. We've got one starting up in Guam. We've got one down in Costa Rica. We've got a few up in Canada. We have about 15 or so in the UK. We've got about 20 in the Netherlands and Belgium. Chechnya, which is the old Chechnya. They're in Eastern Europe. We're adding one here next month, or in a couple months, as soon as the system gets across the ocean and Richard gets them trained. And then the Azore Islands, we've got somebody starting up that Richard has got going there. And so we're back up to 9 countries, 150 plus licensed affiliates around the country. And I think it's awesome that we started this podcast in the UK with you, Jonathan, and your company, Premier. It's very, very cool.
Thank you. Thank you for choosing us and having us.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being on. And hey, guys, thank you for listening. Check out our podcast on YouTube and any of the other podcast channels. Go ahead and like us and share us, and go ahead and subscribe so that you can get access to these weekly podcasts that we do, profiling people that are with SoftWash Systems building their lifestyle businesses. This is AC Lockyer. Go forth and prosper.